Hi, I'm Keith, and this is my dad, Kerwin. We're here to talk about Crimson Dawn with Chris Ryons. We're going to break down 5 issues of Marvel Comics Star Wars Crimson Reign. Will qi'ra get the upper hand in the Sith, or will the Emperor strike back? Get it? Emperor, Empire.
That was good.
Find out in this episode of Father Son Galaxy.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Marvel Comics Star Wars Crimson Reign, written by Charles Soule, is the second story of the trilogy that picks up right after the War of the Bounty Hunters. This is our spoiler review of the 5-issue series. Joining us is Chris Ryons, founder of Broaxium, member of Blue Bantha Milk, and manager of the Atomic City Comics in downtown Philadelphia. He is also the content creator of Shootin the Poo-Doo, the StarBros Podcast, Comics Preview, and a new series called the Noice Guys. Motion Picture Podcast. Chris Ryons, welcome back to Father Son Galaxy.
Hey, thanks for having me. You know I love coming on here.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is going to be fun. So you want to start with something you want to show Mr. Ryons?
Look, it's you.
Is it?
Those who are, on audio, Keith created Chris Ryons. So you
that's dope.
Check it out on video, that's.
I said, wait, what was in my Lego hand? What was that in my Lego hand?
It's like a comic book.
Nice. Nice.
Very nice. Yes.
Love it.
That's right. Yeah. So
I'll be flying off the shelves soon. That one.
He showed that to me, and I said, "Okay, we got to show this to Chris."
That's awesome.
So, Chris, before we get started talking about Crimson Reign, I want to just talk about, we're from Philadelphia. We live in the Philly area, and you have a shop in Philadelphia. But there's also a shop that's very well known in Philadelphia. It's called Amalgam Comics and Coffee House. Sad to say that in October, they're actually going to be closing their doors. So they're shutting their doors for good. So I just wanted to just give you, some time if you wanted to talk about Amalgam or your experience with Amalgam.
Yeah, I've never met Ariel personally, but I know she's good people, and I love what they did for the community with the different events that they did, whether just for fun or educational and things like that. So. It's a tough blow to the community that they had to close their doors, and it's been an unfortunate couple of years all around, So hopefully, she will bounce back and get something going in the future, in the very near future. That'd be great because as far as Black-owned businesses, like Atomic City Comics is like the first Black-owned comic book shop, and she had the first female Black-owned comic shop, and we need tent poles like that around, in the business world, and in entertainment, and especially with the comic books, So it's unfortunate, and like I said, I hope that they bounce back.
When I was I was living in the northern area, North Jersey, about 5 years ago, before I decided to move to the Philly area. And one of the places that I wanted to go to was Amalgam, because I read about the comic shop and Ariel Johnston and her being, Black-owned, first female Black-owned comic book shop. So when I got to see it, and we took the whole family there. I took the whole family, and we just took pictures like we were, at an amusement park. We took pictures outside. It was historic for us, It was a historic moment, and we took pictures inside. And Keith actually took a couple of pictures with Ariel. So, we've been, going back there ever since, for the last 5 years. So it is sad to hear. I know that they were hit, just like everybody else during the pandemic. They had to close their doors for a period of time, and they weren't letting any people in the building. But when they had their reopening last year, and I said, wow, I'm glad that they made it through. You know what I mean? Because we need shops like this.
They kind of didn't.
And unfortunately, she had to close the door. So, but
Yeah.
I do believe that she is going to come back with something else, and we'll see exactly. We'll see a different amalgam in the future.
Absolutely.
Maybe even a different location, hopefully closer to us.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, absolutely. So just wanted to just talk a little bit about amalgam and wish Ariel Johnson the best.
I think it'd be fantastic if they had something near KOP, because I think right now it's just, I don't know, Comics and More that's in the mall, but that's kind of it used to be a really cool comic. Anyway, I don't want to talk too bad about not on YouTube.
No,
but
I know the place you're talking about. I know the place. Yeah, absolutely. I've
Never
been
actually
there.
been.
Yeah. Well, I
We'll talk
understand.
about it on
Yeah,
camera.
we'll talk about it on camera.
Yeah,
I totally understand what you're saying.
But I love that spot. I was there in the old days of King of Prussia, and great spot. It's been a while since I've been there, and I know that since the mall had changed over, that just became another monster in itself. That spot. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about Crimson Reign. So again, Crimson Reign is written by Charles Soule, and it's the second story of a trilogy that picks up right after the War of the Bounty Hunters. The series is about Crimson Dawn, a criminal organization led by their ambitious leader, qi'ra. The character of qi'ra was originally seen in the big screen film Solo, a Star Wars Story back in 2018, and she was played by actor Emilia Clarke. To remind everyone who was in Crimson Dawn, we have the Knights of Ren, Shanaf Cha and the Orphans, Deathstick, Ochia Bastoon, and Margot and Trina, who are her close advisors, qi'ra's close advisors.
Yes. So issue 1 is called The Orphans, and the issue opens with the archivist or the narrator telling us the story of the fall of Crimson Dawn. That's a really bold way to open it. But do you find it surprising that they told us how it was going to end at the very beginning? I am in denial with that intro, because at first I was like, why? But I'm like, it's Charles Soule. The man is a genius, so I know that he's got some kind of plan. But I hope that this, I've got it on my other screen right now. Like I just all the issues, so I'm right there with you. I hope that she makes it out of this alive. Like that was my first thing when I read the first page. I was like, oh, I hope qi'ra makes it out of this thing. But she's messing with the Empire. So, and more importantly, she's messing with the Sith. So who knows? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope that she makes it out. I'm pretty sure Crimson Dawn Crimson Dawn itself will not make it out of this trilogy. But I hope qi'ra does. She's better. Yeah. I mean, come on, what a good villain. She's a great character. I partially look at her as a villain, Keith. Like partially look at her as a villain. There are things that she does. Yeah, she's had a hard upbringing. I don't know if you guys read the one of the pre-Solo novels that came out, and I'm blanking on the name of it right now. But yeah, she's attracted to that life. But in doing some of the things she does, like even leaving Han at the end of the Solo movie, it was for his own good. It was, because she knows that he's a good person, shouldn't get caught up in that lifestyle, and she left him there because she knows that is a good person, and that he and Chewie need each other. So and even going forward, she grabs Han's the carbonite. I think all this is done, for good purpose. There's some duality to it, of course, but I think for a good purpose that she's doing it. Yeah. Yep. All right, so after that, qi'ra's preaching that the Sith are the enemy, and she's really angry. But her knowledge of the dark side comes from a relationship with Maul, who was originally taking over Crimson Reign until, Obi-Wan kind of ended that. So he was actually the Emperor's former apprentice. So I think part of her anger actually comes from how the Emperor cast her aside. Cast Maul aside, I mean. So that might be part of it. And then she's talking about how the Sith take and then throw away, like Maul. Yeah. So each member of the Dawn is, in one way or another, being affected by the Empire. They have their lives upended. And the balance of the power is one-sided. The Emperor rules the galaxy like it's such a pyramid. And then they just are on top of everything and everyone else. They gotta rule over everything. They will rule over a desert planet that nobody's on because they can say it's theirs.
Yeah. The Empire takes the, if that planet's got resources, the Empire wants it.
And they want to get to the top by pushing everybody else down the slope.
Yep.
And there's one person that's free, and that's Palpatine, who gets to orchestrate this whole thing and then has no consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So Sidious and his apprentice Vader are the two most powerful people in the galaxy. And she says they must die so the galaxy can live.
Mm-hmm.
Bang. And she's not wrong. The Empire really is a dictatorship, but
yes,
qi'ra grew up not having that much money. So you think her motivation could be to take down Palpatine, coming from her feeling she is owed a share of his wealth and power? Or is this her seeking revenge on Palpatine for how he cast Maul aside after appointing Vader as his apprentice?
To your second part, I need to know how Maul was exited from Crimson Dawn before I can even see on that one, because there could have been some betrayal there as to why she's in charge and Maul isn't. So there's that, but I think it's more of a free. There's money and wealth, and there's power. With her, she wants that power distributed, like you said, that power to be distributed, not just held by the Emperor. But
she's kind of going about it the wrong way.
Maybe in her way, she's doing it right. Saul Guerrero thought he was doing it the right way as well. So you never know. But with her, with the lack of freedom that she's had her entire life, being a scrum rat, under Lady Proxima and then under Crimson Dawn, I think it's more of a freedom thing and very little less a power thing.
Okay.
Or power and wealth thing. Yeah.
So then she has a plan in place. So she's going to try to talk to Black Sun, and she's going to be with Lord G.O.T.
G.O.T. Yeah. G.O.T.
What?
From the G.O.T. probably. Yeah.
Black Sun.
Mm-hmm.
So, just for the audience members who might not know, who is Black Sun and what's qi'ra bringing to the table for them?
Well, the Black Sun is another criminal, crime syndicate, and I think that's her goal is to bring together all these crime families, kind of like what Fett was doing in the Book of Boba Fett, but on a larger, slightly more sinister scale. But They are. The Black Sun is led by the race called the Faline. If you've ever played or read Shadows of the Empire. Prince Zizor is of that same race. Yeah. So her goal is to bring all of these crime families together to combat the Empire, to combat and confuse and just cause chaos for the Empire. Because her goal is taking out the Sith. Like the Sith is main thing, and the Empire is secondary, close second. But yeah.
Do you want me to take this part? Or you got it?
No, I think I got it. Okay. So qi'ra is not just offering intelligence to Black Sun. She's going to all these other criminal organizations, like you said, on a larger scale. She's going to the Pike. She's going to Papa Torr's gang. But is it really intelligence that she's giving them, or is she just giving them straight rumors?
She is manipulating all of these groups.
Yep.
To cause mayhem and chaos, to keep the Empire sort of off balance, so that she can do what needs to be done as far as she's concerned.
Yeah. So then there's a rumor that qi'ra, Margot, and Trinity are spreading. So they're telling the same rumor that the Empire is looking for a new partner to replace the Hutts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why all these people are trying to work with her. They're vying for the Empire's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, she's holding the scheme going because Chaneth and the orphans are taking down this Black Sun Smash processing lab.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no survivors, although Smash is very similar to Spice on other note. Sort of like the Boba Fett Spice. But, no survivors, and no survivors means no clues. And this gets back to Black Sun.
Guilt.
G guy is angry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's livid.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very livid.
Mhm.
But he doesn't know that qi'ra is behind it.
Right.
He suspects another syndicate caused this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So he goes after the law because he doesn't know which one.
Mhm.
Wow. I guess that backfired.
Mhm.
And meanwhile, the orphans are still wreaking havoc on the other syndicates. And now the syndicates are all at war with each other.
Mm-hmm. Which is exactly what she wanted.
Yeah, she wanted utter chaos.
Mhm.
It's sort of like when you watch those movies and then there's that part where everybody gangs up, but there's somebody spreading lies between the others, and eventually it all comes to a head and they start fighting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. And then the Emperor, of course, he notices, and then that's when Vader has to step in.
Exactly. And this is just the first issue. So this issue is called The Orphans, right? And so there was a lot going on in just issue number one. So let's
That really set the stage.
exactly. Do you have any other thoughts or comments about issue one before?
Well, the orphans I thought was a fantastic group who work under qi'ra, because Chaneth Cha was another one of Soule's characters that he made for the Lando Calrissian series, and Chaneth Cha had a relationship with Lobot, Lando's second. Also, Chaneth was in Charles Soule's Darth Vader run, and I think her parents, or one of her parents, was a former Jedi or Force sensitive or something like that, and the Inquisitors were sent after them, and I think it was Vader or the Inquisitors killed her parents right in front of her. And and she got badly injured, I think, and was let and was able to escape. So she's got her motives for why why she's working with qi'ra to take out the Sith, and the Empire.
Yeah. So just like many other people whose lives have been impacted by the Empire. Yeah. Gotcha.
It's not too uncommon in Star Wars.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Right.
And it's just it all comes down to how people want to extract that revenge. If they want to be like Mon Mothma and taking a more I guess respectable way, or they're gonna be like Saw and just a more straightforward, violent way, or like qi'ra in a more devious way. I guess there are so many different ways to combat this empire. So everyone's trying their own different ways at it.
Okay, so let's go on to issue number 2, and it's called The Assassins, and it's about Deathstick and Ochia Bastoon. So these two assassins are given assignments by qi'ra. So Deathstick's assignment is to find Cordelia, this young girl named Cordelia. Can you tell us who she is and why qi'ra is looking for her?
Cordelia is she is the offspring of a high-ranking or top member of the Mourner's Wail and a top member of the Unbroken clan, and she is the heir to both, and can bridge that gap. And both of those crime syndicates are warring. They've always been rivals. So she is she represents unity, whereas some on both sides don't want that to happen, mostly on the Unbroken clan, because Volcora, who leads the Unbroken clan, she is a horrible person. But so yeah, she's very important. And for a while, Valance, Baylor Valance was protecting her, and she is very, very important to qi'ra's plan. So qi'ra has to go after her and has to bring her into the fold.
For sure.
And yeah.
And eventually that's what happens. Deathstick does find Cordelia and brings her to qi'ra. Okay.
Yeah.
So her assignment is completed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Ochi Bastoon. qi'ra also hired him.
He is not a good person.
To send the Emperor a message.
Oh, she is not a good person. But yeah.
What was that message that she wanted the Emperor to get?
What was the message? Oh, that they were and operatives, like on operatives within. Yeah. It's been a while since I've read number 2.
No, that's
operatives within the Empire to just kind of start that whole wild goose chase, to keep the Empire off balance. Yep.
Yeah, and it was the artwork for. Let's just talk about the artwork a little bit.
Sure.
I don't have the artist's name, but the
Steve
artwork,
Cummings.
Yes, the artwork in this series is wonderful, and I think one of my favorite panels in the series is, a few of the panels where you saw the Imperial Guards. You saw them outside of their uniform, their red uniform, and they're having breakfast. They're all sitting together. There's no communication between them. They're just having their breakfast, and then they get up and they go and they put on their uniforms, and then they head to the Emperor's throne room, and they're standing there, and the Emperor's right in the middle, right next to his throne, and then all of a sudden they just drop like dominoes.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so they were actually poisoned.
Knew it.
Yeah, right in front of the Emperor, and like who could get that close to the Emperor to do something like that?
And that just shows how calculating she is, how calculating qi'ra is, and the reach that she has. She's got people in every organization, like even within the rebellion, and I think that's incredible. And she did what she had to do to send a message straight to Palpatine.
Yeah, it's well known that Crimson Dawn has people from all over the place, even in the rebellion.
Everywhere.
We may get to that because that was actually brought up in War of the Bounty Hunters. She had a connection in the rebellion who allowed her to see Princess Leia. So she has people all over. Yeah, that's definite. So that was pretty much issue number 2. Those are the 2 assignments. They were the assassins. Let's get to issue number 3 called The Archivist.
Yes. So we learned their backstory before Order 66. So her real name is Madeline Sun of Sava at the University of Barleth, which is a teacher basically. And she studied the Force. And according to her, she lived a happy life. But then after Order 66, the Jedi were wiped out. She turned to junk dealing because she can't really study the Force openly at this point.
Yeah.
And then stormtroopers raided her shop and found a Jedi artifact, which was forbidden by the Order 66 code. A trooper threatened to report her, then all of a sudden, bam, 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 qi'ra's there. The troopers are down. So she tells qi'ra the history of the Jedi and how Palpatine rose to power because he made people fear the Jedi. He called the Jedi traitors. qi'ra reveals the true identity of Palpatine. Madeline realizes she did not lose a life of happiness. She had it taken away by the Empire. qi'ra assigns Madeline to find Yoda, the great Jedi Master, who qi'ra expects survived Order 66. Yoda would make a great ally for Crimson Dawn to battle against the Empire. Through researching technology, Madeline finds out where Yoda is and travels to Dagobah. Pretty cool. We actually got to see Dagobah in a Crimson Raid comic.
Nice.
Yeah.
So only a few people actually know where Yoda lives because he's in hiding after what happened in Order 66. But how'd she know where to find Yoda?
It was, oh man. All right, so this is when it starts to you see elements of the different comics come to play that help this out. Now, I don't know if qi'ra knew this, but there's a Han Solo comic that's out right now, Han Solo and Chewbacca. And in one of those issues, there's a flashback where where Han visits the booth where that Sava was, just selling her old relics and stuff. And it has a cause a distraction and tips the stormtroopers off to the fact that she's selling Jedi relics. Like that's something that happens. And then I think it's what happens? All right. So then because I'm looking at the issue right now. That Sava goes to meet with Captain Antilles, who was the captain of the Atlantic before. I don't know, was that his name?
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking, I don't know if the story made it clear as to exactly how she found Dagobah.
Yeah. Oh no, it is.
Yeah,
okay. It's this other pilot, this other rebel pilot that she found who was incarcerated, and she would have a meeting with him, and then she uses this ascendant tech, which is a Dr. Aphra thing, to extract this information about what happened, like tracing Yoda's steps, so she could find out where he was at. Because
so that's two references to Dr. Aphra.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
So we got Dr. Aphra in there, and then like the Han Solo one is like a late reference because that issue didn't come out until like a month or so ago. But it's all connected well. So it's through that ascendant tech that she was able to extract the information and follow Yoda's steps that led to Dagobah.
Yeah, that makes a little more sense. So while she's there, she runs into a sea creature and then ends up entering the cave, which is the same one Luke went into in The Empire Strikes Back, where we saw the visions of himself.
Yep.
And it did the same to Madeline. It revealed something about her. So then it showed her the light side of the Force, and not the dark side, that can give her back all her happiness and life she had once. So, she kind of gives in, and she goes back to Qi'ra and tells her Yoda's dead. So Qi'ra moves on to her next plan.
Yeah.
And now we're on issue 4.
Right. Before we get to 4, do you have any other comments regarding issue number 3, Chris?
The fact that the cave changed her appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And warped her a bit was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I think I'm looking at the issue right now, and I wonder if I don't know if she knew that Yoda was there and like sort of protected him, I guess. I mean, he watched the whole thing happen.
Yeah.
He watched everything go down.
Shadows, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think yeah, she knew. She knew.
Yeah.
She knew that he was there and kept his secret. So that was
right.
That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think she just gave this line to Qi'ra and said, well, he's not there. Let's forget about him. So Qi'ra could just move on and leave Yoda be. Yeah. Yeah. So that was intentional on her part. All right. Okay. So let's get to issue number 4. This is called The Knights. All right.
This is a special issue right here.
This is a special issue. Yes. Yeah. Let's talk about this one. So let's talk about the Knights of Ren. We did see them first appear in The Force Awakens through
Rey's flashback.
Right. Exactly.
The first full appearance was in the Wrath of Skywalker.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right. And they are a gang of Force users named after their leader Ren. Yeah. And Ben Solo joins the group many years later and changes his name to Kylo Ren.
Yeah, so he's not with them at this point.
Yes, exactly. Right. So Qi'ra finds the Knights of Ren and she makes them an offer they can't refuse.
Of course
they're to travel.
She does that with everybody.
Yes. So she's there to travel to Mustafar and steal this screaming key from Vader's castle.
Screaming key?
Screaming key. Right. So now the idea is that Vader's not supposed to be there. So it should be an easy heist. But when they enter into the castle, they find Vinay. And Vinay is the keeper of the castle. And Vinay then alerts the security Death Troopers to go after them. So a battle ensues. But Ren gets the key. And just when he's ready to leave with the key, guess who shows up? Darth Vader himself shows up. And so, of course, the Knights are running for their lives. Ren escapes with the key, but Vader's using the Force to try to get the key from Ren.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, the other Knights are actually firing at Vader, and he is deflecting their blast. So he kind of got distracted enough so that Ren could get the key back. So now Ren gets the key from Vader, and the Knights escape.
Yeah. Now, who would have thought they'd be working for this guy's grandson in a couple of years?
Yeah, right.
Right. How about that? Now qi'ra was pretty sure that Vader was not going to be there. So the question I have for you is, do you think this was just a miscalculation on her part, thinking that he was not going to be there? Or do you think she did it intentionally to set up the Knights of Ren?
No, I think that was a miscalculation.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, she needed that screaming key, so I don't know why she would try to sabotage that.
Mm-hmm.
This issue was special at last year's Podathon. I interviewed Charles Soule.
Yes,
and this was the spoiler stuff that he gave me, that the Knights of Ren were going to infiltrate, Castle Vader, and it lived up to and it exceeded, any kind of expectations I had for how fun this issue would be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ren lost one at least.
Yes,
one member.
And that's an issue number 5, actually.
That's what. Okay. Well, hold on. Is that right? Because all right, there's one guy who spits in Vader's back to tank, and I was like, bro, you should not have done that. Yeah. So he got it from Vader, I think, and I was like, well, he kind of had it coming.
Okay, gotcha.
You don't spit in the man's back to tank.
Yeah, don't spit in the man back to tank. That's a life lesson.
Yeah,
but
right about that part. Yeah,
life lesson one: never spit in Vader's back.
Yeah, why would you?
Don't do that. Why would you?
The first thing that's gonna happen is you're going to get force choked.
Yeah. Well, this guy got force smushed, I think.
Again, they're on the impression that Vader was not going to be there, so they thought, we'll just go in and do whatever we want, and we're not going to get caught.
What does that remind you of?
Well, that could be anybody. Who does that remind you of? You?
No.
Who?
January 6th.
Oh, okay. All right, January 6th. Okay, we're going there.
No,
okay.
Let's not.
I got you. Right. That's a good point. That's a very good point. So,
except this time they actually got caught.
Yes, they did get caught. Yes. All right. Well, any other thoughts or comments about issue number 4?
What I do like is that, and I think I maybe mentioned number 5, but how the Emperor barely even noticed the Knights of Ren, because whereas they may seem super cool and these guys they're powerful, and they follow what's called the shadow, which is what they call the dark side, to a Sith Lord, to a true Sith Lord, they are
mere tools.
Yeah, they're pretty much Inquisitor level, to a Sith Lord. So they aren't that much of a threat.
Yeah, I mean, Vader takes out like 2 Inquisitors a day.
Yeah.
That's how he gets his daily exercise.
Hey.
Exactly. All right, so let's move on to issue number 5.
The longest one.
Called The Scarlet Queen. I can help you with this one if you
No.
want. Okay. This is called The Scarlet Queen, issue number 5, the last issue.
Yeah, so Vader visits Palpatine's throne room. And by the way, if I'm looking down, that's because I'm looking at my notes.
No, that's fine.
It's like 6 pages. So Palpatine breaks it down. All the recent attacks, the Hutts going out to war with the syndicates, and then the assassination of the royal guards. It's all a personal attack on the Empire. But no, it isn't. It looks like that, but it isn't. It's an attack on the Sith and their culture as well.
Absolutely.
So then Palpatine calls in Director Barsha from the Imperial Security Bureau for an update. So Barsha says in the shadows, you can't see his face, which is very odd. But after questioning various crime syndicates, the ISB determined that the war began with a rumor the Empire is looking to form a new business relationship to replace the Hutts. And he names the source of the rumor, Crimson Dawn. But who is this guy? And what do we know about Director Barsha? And why is he hiding in the shadows? Who's he even work for in the first place?
Yeah, Director Barsha. He seems very shady. What do you think?
Yeah. At first, I thought they were shading his face and like, oh, it's Thrawn or something. But I know that Filoni's got plans for Thrawn with the Ahsoka series.
And that would have been really nice.
We hope.
Yeah.
but he's kind of in space right now.
Yeah.
He's on a very long space voyage.
Yeah. Him and the Purgles and Ezra. But there's still a lot about that character that needs to be told. So, these ISB guys, they're sometimes shrouded in mystery. So
yes, they are.
We'll see.
Okay.
So then Vader and Palpatine start putting the pieces together and realize the fighting skills, the knowledge of the Sith, it all connects to one person, Maul, former leader of Crimson Dawn. What more does qi'ra know? Because she's obviously hiding something here.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. qi'ra seems like a shady person to begin with. You really think she doesn't have some tricks up her sleeve and some secrets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she got some skeletons in her closet.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So right now, there's the Empire sending out a high priority transmission for people to find qi'ra and Crimson Dawn. So they basically put a bounty on her head.
Yeah, exactly.
And now the Knights of Ren and Madeline are trying to unlock the Screaming Key.
Yeah, they're on this unknown planet.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
We don't know where they are.
Yeah.
And then the dark side of the Force unleashes a scream and awakens some gargoyle creatures, and the Knights are in danger. But while they escape, they lose one of their own.
Yep.
Basra.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
It's the Twi'lek, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So Madeline finds the object and gets the Screaming Key, inserts it, and opens the object, which has an hourglass. So she tells qi'ra, it's still here. And then when they're able to leave, luckily once they got the hourglass, those creatures chasing the Knights turned stone. But now that qi'ra knows that what she's looking for is still there, she takes Madeline and breaks her earpiece. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She left from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So she
and
makes
then,
a big speech
Mhm.
from her throne on Vermilion. And Palpatine knows Crimson Dawn is looking for him. And now he is looking for Crimson Dawn.
Mhm.
So she expected this would happen and has a plan to cause chaos for the Empire. And if you quote the last few panels, while the Empire staggers, trying to set things right, we will prepare our master stroke, and all of this will at last end. This is our hidden empire.
Right. So, thank you very much for that. So, Chris, you say you have the comic book up in front of you. So if you go to the last few panels, the few questions that we're going to ask you is in regards to the panels.
Okay.
But if you look at them and you look at Qi'ra's body language and you look at how angry she is and her facial expressions, what is her mindset at this point? What do you think she's thinking?
I think they've what's happened is I think Palpatine and Vader, put the Scooby-Doo clues together a little too soon for her. So she's had to fast forward her plan. So it's not going exactly how she wanted. So I know that angered her. But she's still in control. And whereas I have no idea what's going on with the Hidden Empire just yet. Mm-hmm. She just has to fast forward her plans. And this is probably where the mess up happens, where this becomes the end of Crimson Dawn. Like I said, hopefully not the end of Qi'ra,
right?
But the end of Crimson Dawn and their and their advancements in the galaxy.
Yeah, Qi'ra's probably just gonna have to go underground, like a Shield type story.
So what I see, to me,
Qi'ra's kind of going down Maul's path.
Right, exactly. I was about to say that. She looks angry. And I think she is caught off guard that, maybe the Empire is onto her very quick.
Stuff way too quick.
Yeah, that the Empire is onto her very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think she's panicking. And I agree with Keith that I think she's going down the same path as Darth Maul. Remember, the last few moments of his life was all about
just crazy,
vengeance.
all about vengeance.
Yeah.
Just like he wanted Kenobi dead after Obi-Wan cut his legs off.
Right.
Yeah. Although, like you would expect much worse after you take down his master.
Yeah. Right, and the Emperor, for what the Emperor did, like cast him aside.
Yeah,
and
Maul's got a lot of vengeance on a lot of people.
Exactly. So, but it sounds like you answered the question, but let's talk about it a little bit more.
Sure.
Well, how do you think it's going to end for qi'ra?
I hope she survives because she is when it came to the Solo movie, I went in there strictly like, I'm all about Lando. I just want to see Lando. I want it's the Lando movie that, that's what it was for me. But coming out of that movie, qi'ra was the most, what's the word I'm looking for?
Dominant.
Intriguing character.
That's a good word.
And that's the one that really stuck with me was her character, because we haven't really had one like that in Star Wars, at least not in major canon. So it was great to bring her back, and it put eyes on the comics, which was fantastic. I just hope there's more of her going forward in some fashion.
Yeah.
And hopefully her and Han meet up at some point, because it needs to happen. So that's why I hope that she survives, because we know, like, this is months before the events of Return of the Jedi. So that the Empire is firmly in control by the time of that movie. So things aren't going to go well for Crimson Dawn, unfortunately.
So this is only part 2 of the trilogy. So part 3, Hidden Empire, starts in October and then wraps up in early 2023 with February.
Yes.
But we were kind of hoping to see qi'ra in the Book of Boba Fett, because all worlds lead to Crimson Dawn except this one for some reason.
Yeah, that would have spoiled too many things if they did that.
Yeah, so it looks like they're gonna try to keep qi'ra solely in the comics. But do you think she could have a future being in another live action movie after Solo?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Emilia Clarke would love to come back and play the role. And if they do something that's post Return of the Jedi, pre-Mando era, she's at the right age for it, I think, for her to come back and play that role. Absolutely.
That'd be great. So, let's kind of talk about Charles Soule now, because what makes him such a good writer? I know he's celebrating writing his 100th comic book right now. And Dad loves his Vader series. It's one of the best comics he's ever read.
Yep.
Yes.
And you like you say, you spoke to him at Potathon last year. So
we met him at Fan Expo.
Yes, we did actually. Yeah. So what makes him a good storyteller of Star Wars?
When I did my preview for Star Wars 25, which was his 100th issue, like you said, Keith. If you read that comic, there are 2 stories where I slammed the comic down. I was like, this dude gets it. Like, he just gets Star Wars. The way that he explains some things, or like in this story in particular, is like how the Jedi, like Anakin was asking Obi, like, why don't we use the kyber crystals in other ways, like in blasters and chainmail and all the, like, nunchuck kind of stuff, like all the goofy stuff. Like, fans are like, why don't we have like nunchuck lightsabers? Like, because we cut our hands off immediately. But like, why don't we use it for that? And then the explanation that he gave, I thought was fantastic. I'm going to bring that up just so let me try to find it real quick.
So then, once again, so like you said, Crimson Reign is going to pick up again, and it's going to be the Hidden Empire in October.
Yeah.
Do you want to let people know where they can find us?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Podcast Addict, or wherever you get your podcast. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Fatherson Galaxy. Please do check out our website, FatherSonGalaxy.com, and be sure to visit our brand new Patreon page, Fatherson Galaxy, patreon.com/FatherSonGalaxy.
Right, exactly. Okay.
And don't forget to check out our Spreaker page as well.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you can't support us financially through Patreon, just please continue to subscribe and watch our videos, because the overwhelming majority of you guys that watch our shows don't subscribe. So if you do, we can get that much closer to our 501 goal. We're about 10
Or beyond,
subscribers
yeah.
away.
Right, exactly.
So if you subscribe now and you're our 501st subscriber, you will get the limited edition celebration exclusive Bad Batch Season 2 poster.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. And you also said we're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You said that already?
Yes.
Got it. Good. Wonderful.
So if I unsubscribe real quick and then wait a little bit and then subscribe again, can I get that? Because I missed that panel, so I want that post.
That's a little shady. That's a Crimson
I just put the
Dawn.
whole-
We don't know anything about that, Chris. You know, we can't help you there.
That's a Crimson Dawn tactic, my man. Don't do that. We won't give you
All
the
right.
poster. It'll go
Oh.
500 seconds.
Mhm.
What do you got for us, Chris? You're looking.
All right, so I found it. So Obi explains to him. He says it is about how we wish to be seen, Anakin, and how that ties into the central mission of the Jedi Order. We do not want to be powerful. We wish to stand tall against the dark. Our tools reflect that goal, especially our chosen weapon. We all wield the same one with minor variations, the lightsaber. We could make kyber bombs or blasters. Indeed, it's been tried. There are a few weapons like that in the sealed archives, which we learned in if you like Soule's run of Vader,
Yes.
we know that there's that kyber rifle. It said, but anyone can fire a blaster. Very few can safely and skillfully wield a lightsaber. Everyone in the galaxy knows this to be true. We want our opponents to know that we use a weapon that requires intention, training, precision, and choice. The lightsaber symbolizes the care with which we approach our gifts through the Force and the care with which we wield them. It reminds others that we could do more. We very purposely do not.
Whoa.
Wonderful.
And
That is deep.
Mhm.
and right there, I stopped and I was like, Charles Soule.
He gets Star Wars.
He gets it so well. And I know a bunch of different writers and whatnot, so I don't want to say who the best is because I don't know who the best is right now. He's definitely leading the pack right now, I think.
Yeah, like early top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Like he's an amazing Star Wars storyteller, story creator, and that's why I'm like, whatever he does, it's like it's gold. Like whatever he puts out for Star Wars, like it makes sense. It has purpose. There's no fluff or anything like that. Everything has purpose. He's amazing writer. He's an amazing writer all around. Like my favorite non-Star Wars story of his is called 8 Billion Genies. It's this new comic that's out. It's in its third issue right now. And it's it's a bunch of there's one genie, like all these genies come to Earth, one genie per person, and they grant one wish. Imagine the chaos that could come from that.
Interesting.
1,000 wishes. Somebody can wish for like infinite wishes.
I think that explains they can't. They can't do that. It's only the one wish, and they can't wish for more wishes. But just it's story about the vanity of some people, the ridiculous choices that they make for their wishes and things like that, and some of the great wishes that other people make that just help, their family or humanity as a whole. It's a fantastic story.
The Marvel superheroes to be real, like Iron Man.
That would
Wouldn't
be
that
your
just be
wish?
awesome
Okay.
to see Spider-Man swing around the city?
Right. Yeah. Just swing right across our window. Huh?
Or
Just
to have a family.
adds right to the chaos right there. But yeah,
Is this a graphic novel or is it a comic book?
it's a monthly series. In its third issue right now, and it's already been optioned for a TV show. I think on Apple or something like that. But it's great.
Yeah,
if you can find it, grab it.
Yeah, please. I definitely want to look into that. Yeah, thank you for telling me about that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we look forward to Hidden Empire. I'm telling you, and
Oh man, I can't wait.
I can't wait to see how this story concludes. So
Yeah,
I'm
so,
excited to see how Crimson Dawn goes out, and if Qi'ra survives.
yeah,
hopefully,
we don't know.
Hopefully,
We don't
yeah. I'm trying
That really
to.
matters to me.
I'm trying to do a round 2 right now for the next.
Qi'ra doesn't survive.
I'm trying to do a round 2 right now for the next podathon, and get Charles Soule, like, for another interview. Trying.
Awesome.
We'll see.
Awesome.
Hopefully.
Very good.
And yeah, because I love to talk about Hidden Empire, talk about Crimson Reign, and like what's next for him, outside of this amazing trilogy, this amazing slice of Star Wars that he has carved out for himself within this universe. So, oh man, I'm so excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
All right.
Where can people find you?
Me? You can find me on Twitter, that place. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Chris Ryons. I'm on Facebook as well. And of course, Broaxium on Twitter and Broaxium on our YouTube channel. We're doing Shootin the Poo-Doo. We got the StarBros. We've got our quick shot Star Wars comics previews. With another new series where I do these little, not rants, but I just talk about some of my favorite moments and things that really stuck out to me. So I have one where I talk about who the bravest character in Star Wars is, and that is Captain Nita, because he took a hit for the home team. He really, really did. And he was so confident. He was like, I'll explain to Vader what happened. We lost the Falcon. I'll explain it. He's got to respect that. And Vader respected it and still killed him. And then I just did one on what I think is, and I absolutely do, is the coldest line in Star Wars history.
Yeah. And that was really good. Yeah.
I'm not going to repeat it.
I'll let you watch
what I thought, but yeah. I put beeps in it. I put the beeps in it.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty cool. And tell us a little bit about your new podcast, so the Noice Guys. Tell us about the motion picture podcast.
Yeah, it's me and my buddy Mick Jamison. We used to work together at Suncoast Motion Picture Company. It's this video retail store. So we in King of Prussia, we worked there like in the early 2000s, like when VHS was still a thing. It was just we always like talk about these weird movies and this and that, and he and I have kept in contact over the years. And he put out a post a couple weeks back about, we've been kicking around the idea of doing a podcast for like a year, and it just never came to fruition. And then we were talking about this movie, which is one of my favorite movies, called Running Scared, with Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal. And we started talking about that, and we're like, what are we doing, man? Let's do this thing. Let's talk about movies. So we're going to talk about all of our favorite movies, and there's going to be some weird 80s movies in there, some weird 70s movies in there. Like Jesus Christ Superstar is one of our, like, he and I, like, one of our favorite movies. So we're going to talk about that. Rhinestone, which is with Sylvester Stallone and Dolly Parton. A lot of people do not like this movie. It's the funniest movie of all time in my view. So we're going to be talking about that and a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, it just be us doing our thing. And just talking movies and having fun. It's going to start out as a monthly show, and then if things pick up and people like it, we'll do like a couple a month or something. But right now to be a monthly show.
Well, this is right up my alley, so I can't wait for this to drop.
Nice.
Yeah, Dad loves motion pictures.
Yeah, and the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, yeah. So absolutely.
Awesome.
I can't wait. That's nostalgic for me.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, Chris, thank you once again. And you want to give out the address to Atomic City?
Sure. Good luck with parking, but Atomic City Comics, 638 South Street in Philadelphia, 215-625-9613. Come on by. We've got the largest manga selection in the country, or at least in the East Coast. We have the largest manga selection, T-shirts, huge graphic novel section, amazing back issues, and of course the newest comics, import toys, shirts, Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon games, all that stuff. Come on by.
All right. Yeah. Please support the store and give Chris some business. It's a wonderful store. We've been there.
It's a great store.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
I got my first Mob Squad Minecraft book for them.
Nice.
Yes, and we even got this. Our Mandalorian Glow in the Dark Funko Pop.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Bring it down.
Yeah.
Bring it close to the camera. Yeah.
Oh yes.
From your
guy.
Yeah. Anything Star Wars in the shop, I order it. That's me. That's
All
me.
right.
So I'm glad I got that for you.
So Chris Ryons, founder of Broaxium and content creator. Thank you so much once again. It's always fun to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right.
Dad, I'm as tall as you now.
Yes, you are. All right. So thank you, everyone. This is our spoiler review of Crimson Dawn. Crimson Rain. Thank you very much. Until next time, take care, and we will see you again.